Hello everyone, welcome back, and for today I got for you guys Game 1 from a series played at the Starcraft League playoffs. It's going to be a face-off between two teams. On one side you're going to have Team EG, Team Evil Geniuses, and they're going to be facing against Team Sixjax Energy Gaming. As you can see on the chat, you already know which player is representing which team. You're going to have here the green Zerg, EGIdrA, Greg Fields, a beast of a pro gamer, and a huge Zerg macro gamer, very strong. And well, as you guys know, he's been living in Korea for several years and playing there professionally, but now he decided to get back into the US, back home, and rumor has it that it's related with the SCL TV event that is getting prepared, and if I'm not mistaken it's gonna start in April. It's gonna be a huge tournament and probably one of the finest in the whole world. I think that would be nice for the entire community, and I can only appreciate someone actually organizing something that big. But I guess we're gonna see how good and how much success it gets when it's finally up and running in April. He's gonna be facing here against this blue Terran, sixjaxDDE. DDE is a Canadian player, and I would like to apologize for the fact that the video that I got from him is really short. It was the best I could find, to be honest. Guess I need to investigate a bit longer, see if I can find anything else. But like I was saying, DDE has been showing up on the tournament scene for quite a while now, and playing on several tournaments on North America. And well, he's just showing up here to defend his team and face against EGIdrA. He is hopefully a star on the rise, because from what I've been seeing of him playing, he's quite a solid Terran player, and hopefully he's gonna earn his spot and get a spot into the top in North America, and maybe you're gonna see more of him playing on the big tournament soon enough. Okay, so as you can see, and following what's going on the match, you have DDE going for a very aggressive opening, 2 racks play, both of them on the natural expo, so he's even shortening the rush distance in preparing himself for a lot of early aggression into his opponent. And EGIdrA went for the 14 hatch, and this might spell trouble because he's not going to be having defenses for a little while. He's just getting his spawning pool, not even half, getting close to half now, while DDE is just finishing his 2 racks and gonna start pumping Marines out of there. This SCV already scouted on the north. Now obviously he's gonna come here and spot EGIdrA. He knows that EGIdrA is already here the moment that he went north and then spotted him on his base. And ooh, bunker rush, and the first Marine is already advancing while we have a drone roaming here. EGIdrA obviously spotted those 2 racks and knows that the early pressure is incoming, and now he's getting forced to pull drones out of that mineral line to finish off that SCV that was building the bunker, forcing DDE to cancel the bunker and shove away that SCV, finally establishing a spine crawler, still a long way from getting built. And meanwhile the units from DDE are approaching, 3 Marines, 1 SCV, but apparently DDE is pulling back instead of even trying to apply pressure. So I find this quite curious, but I guess that DDE has another option in mind, not sure exactly what, but he is actually giving time to EGIdrA to breathe, giving him some breathing space. And with this, EGIdrA will just try to establish his defenses and make sure that when DDE finally decides to advance with his Marines to apply pressure, well, it will be too late and will have enough to just fend them off. Incoming an interception here with some of those Zerglings getting shot down. There's 6-7 Marines here, but DDE still wasn't able to kill all of them. Still 4 of those Zerglings left. The Zerglings are heading into the base from DDE. There's some defenses here, and doesn't seem like that DDE is gonna go for the early aggression anymore. I think he just lost his window of opportunity. He's even leaving Marines here to defend the ramp, and these ones in the middle have been dancing back and forth for quite a while. So when they actually reach EGIdRA's natural expo, well, there's going to be plenty here to defend. As you can see, Queen and Spine Crawler and plenty of Zerglings, so these Marines won't be able to do much, and DDE pulling back once again. Econ wise, let's take a look. Well, it's still fairly balanced. I was actually hoping that EGIdrA was a bit ahead since he was playing out of 2 bases for a little while, but DDE has been macroing pretty hard. He has a lot of SCVs, and EGIdRA doing the same obviously, and now DDE preparing himself to pick up his natural exo, so it's going to be 2 base versus 2 base fairly soon. Econ wise, they're still quite balanced. Even the harvester count, there's not much of a difference. And now DDE finally arriving with the bulk of his Marine force into the main base, with EGIdRA just trying to contain keep some units on the front, making sure he's going to have what it takes to control his opponent and know where he is. Notice the map control by EGIdrA has both Xel'Naga watchtowers and even has the bulk of his forces right here on the front, making sure his opponent won't be able to advance without him noticing. Apparently EGIdrA is going to try to see how's the entrance for the Natural Expo. DDE finishing off the wall with an engineering bay. And well, I guess at least he can get some upgrades out of here, and these are all of them pretty sturdy buildings, so kinda hard to Baneling bust this. Keep in mind that based on the spawning positions, you can see something later on happening with these rocks, just destroying them and try to follow through this corridor all the way to your opponent's base. Might be under consideration later on. For now, both players are just macroing and getting some upgrades out. On DDE side, on his base, he's went from those 2 racks into factory and starport. Also has the expand, obviously established the orbital command. And on EGIdrA side, let's take a look at his main base. Both gas pumping, already getting the layer tech on his Natural Expo, so he's probably preparing the second layer of tech. There it is, Baneling's Nest already established and going for the Spire. So Mutalisk play incoming by EGIdrA, plenty of harass. They're actually quite effective on this map, by the way, if properly microed, obviously. And meanwhile, notice how EGIdrA has DDE completely dominated and contained on his base, to the point that DDE can't even leave his ramp and come down his ramp without EGIdrA noticing. So nice containment here, also leaving an Overlord on this corner that will be able to spot any units destroying the rocks and preparing to push. So very well positioned. EGIdrA just getting all the map control and make sure that he's going to be able to keep tabs on his opponent for as long as he feels like, or at least until DDE pushes out and decides to start killing some of EGIdRA's units. For now, on the building, let's take a look. Plenty of upgrades incoming. Weapons level 1, Steam Pack, Centrifugal Hooks, so the Baneling speed incoming for EGIdrA. He might be planning plenty of Baneling harass soon enough. And what else is getting? Apparently we're gonna have a mix here with some siege tanks for DDE to mix up with this ball of Marines. Let's take a look at the unit composition. 19 Marines, 1 Marauder, 2 Medivacs, 24 Zerglings for EGIdrA, and that's basically it. And now DDE preparing a 2-pronged assault. We have 1 Medivac here that got spotted by those Zerglings, and I'm pretty sure that the other one was spotted by that Overlord, but I guess we can all check that on the picture-in-picture window. I'm gonna just place it there for us to take a look at it and see if EGIdrA was planning ahead and knew that all this movement was happening with 2 Medivac drops getting ready. This one was just thwarted with the first Mutalisk coming out and forcing DDE to pull back, but there's a second one incoming, establishing all the forces that are inside the Medivac on the top north. Notice that EGIdrA is trying to establish his 3rd base, so he's still fairly close. And meanwhile, incoming the Medivac, once again attempting a drop, trying to harass as much as possible, while on the top north there's a lot of aggression ensuing, to EGIdrA trying to thwart both of those drops at the same time. This one was basically finished off, as you guys could follow on the picture-in-picture. They're still missing this Marauder here, but the Medivac is just finished, and now the Marauder is gonna get killed and not gonna do anything whatsoever. So the top north harass with the Medivac has failed, and the one from the south entering here close to the destructible rocks access into EGIdRA's main base also failed. EGIdRA defending very well here. The harass from DDE is not paying off currently, and apparently he's just trying to macro even more, and he didn't do much of an harass. These Mutalisks are going to start giving even more map control and a really quick way of EGIdRA just being everywhere at the same time. It's going to start flying around and harassing everything that DDE has been building. Notice it's just trying to destroy that supply depot, forcing DDE to steam his Marines and run back there, not doing a single hit point of damage on those Mutalisks. And meanwhile, you have fairly big wing from EGIdRA, a lot of Mutalisks flying around. Let's take a look at the units once again. 11 Mutalisks there and 10 Banelings getting ready as well. While EGIdRA micros, keep in mind that he's macroing all the way on the back, making a bigger and bigger army. Let's take a look at the army count currently. EGIdRA leading the way, 120, 108, a little bit of a gap there. Unit count, 1 Marauder, 31 Marines, 4 siege tanks, and there's some variety on IdrA side. There's 12 Mutalisks, 28 Zerglings, Queens, and 10 Banelings. Let's take a look at the army. There it is. Most of it is established here by IdrA. On his base, he already has a second hatchery on the Natural Expo, so he can just keep pumping more and more of the units that are already available for him to build. 2 Evo chambers, so committing himself to a lot of upgrades. And on his main base, apparently he's going to prepare an assault, entering on this corner, entering through this corridor onto the destructible rocks and the back entrance into the main base of DDE. But apparently DDE is taking care of his rocks as well, so this is going to be beneficial for IdrA. Incoming a big assault here, DDE pulling with all his forces into his opponent. There's plenty of upgrades still ongoing, so he's not going to wait for them. And incoming IdrA, trying to clean as much as possible from DDE forces. Oh, but the Marines were all properly microed to the back and just destroyed most of those Banelings, so there's still plenty of DDE forces left, and they're all advancing towards IdrA's expos, shooting down some overlords, trying to get him supply locked or at least close to it. Let's see how far he is. Nah, it's still far away. And incoming, all the Marines climbing up the ramp into the Natural Expo from IdrA, shooting down a Queen, and now they're going to start sniping one of the hatcheries, I would say. Here they come, trying to finish off that spine crawler, the static defense, so they can make sure they're going to have what it takes to destroy what's left of this base. Trying to shoot down that hatchery, but no, the Zerglings are finishing them off, backed up by the Mutalisks. Oh, and a lot of Banelings exploding on the faces of those Marines and not allowing DDE to finish off that hatchery, so the production is still all 100% up and running from IdrA. IdrA, meanwhile, noticed that he destroyed the rocks or was trying to take care of them. No, they're still up here, and DDE was doing the same, and he actually cleared his side, so this might be spelling trouble later on for him. Incoming IdrA, once again, microing his Mutalisks all the way up. Oh, there's a sensor tower there. He should just finish that really quickly. Yeah, that's exactly what he's gonna do. There's not much of a defense here from DDE, so IdrA just feeling freely and try to destroy as much as possible. Some missile turrets getting established, but IdrA just being quick enough to counter it, and the bulk of the forces from DDE once again advancing into the bases from IdrA, this time backed up by siege tanks, a smaller force than last time. Let's take a look at the army count once again. Oh yeah, IdrA is leading the way by 30, 148, 118 on the lost. As you guys can see, the units lost as well. So IdrA just establishing his army here. He's been taking care of the creep spread. Notice this branch here just keep trying to grasp the middle of the map. And meanwhile, DDE is just staying here on the Xel'Naga watchtower, trying to reinforce his forces to the point that he decides that it's good enough and strong enough for him to just go in and destroy IdrA. But will he be able to do it? Because IdrA has such a big Mutalisk wing and has been harassing for so long. This doesn't look any good. If DDE keeps stalling and not actually applying the pressure on IdrA, it's just allowing him to macro, and I mean, that's exactly what IdrA wants. And notice the amount of Mutalisks that he has here, and at the same time he has a bigger army. He's establishing it right on the front of his bases, and everything is fine. There goes a small batch of Marines down, and now he has the Mutalisks, all of them shooting down at that engineering bay. Another small ball of Marines advancing, trying to kill some of those Mutalisks, but IdrA just flying them brilliantly and having some impeccable micro here, flying all over the base, killing everything that comes out of those buildings, and probably now heading into that mineral field. Needs to finish off that missile turret. And meanwhile, there's a big offensive in the middle of the screen. We're gonna follow the Mutalisks on the picture-in-picture. All the Zerglings finishing off those siege tanks, and now there's only M&M left for DDE to make his assault, while IdrA is positioning his forces coming from the north. Banelings trying to get a proper surround and exploding all those Marines. No, most of the Marines got saved. Nice micro by DDE, picking up most of his forces to defend, and now trying to run away into his main base, but oh, getting intercepted by those Mutalisks and losing so many of those Marines. He's now in trouble. I don't think he has what it takes if IdrA decides to pull now. Exactly, look at the difference. IdrA almost maxed out. DDE doesn't even have 100, and all of the forces right in front. He made the breach, destroyed that engineering bay, and we have a million Zerglings advancing into the main base, with DDE just deciding to GG out of the match. He just saw the second that he didn't have an army and he had that amount of units from IdrA entering the base that it was useless, and he just needs to GG and try his luck on the second match. So pretty intense here. Very nice macro by IdrA. Look at how far he was on the army count. units, as you can see as well. He just completely wreaked havoc on DDE's plans. And even he was stretching for a 4th base here, still wasn't up and running. But I mean, we got to the point where you have EGIdrA playing out of 3 bases, well, 4 with this one, and DDE was still on 2 base play. So I guess that it just got to the point where EGIdrA was able to replenish his army so much faster that even if he lost a lot of units, he would just make pop a lot of other Zerglings and Banelings and more units and keep destroying DDE until he just got starved out of minerals, or he can't even move, he can't even get out because EGIdrA is just containing him for so long. Well, basically this game is done. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. There will be a game 2, so stand by and see you all later.